Severe weather rumbles through the state tonight, leaving its mark on a small Van Buren County town. Good evening and thank you for watching tonight. I'm Christina Munoz.
And I'm Scott Inman. We will show you some of that destruction from Van Buren County in just a moment. But we want to start tonight in the Weather Center with an update from Chief Meteorologist Ned Permy. Ned.
Well, I'm happy to say that things are improving over much of the state. As a matter of fact, just far eastern Arkansas right now is seeing the brunt of the storm activity.
All right, good to see we're almost in the clear tonight, Ned. Thank you. And as Ned alluded to, a few tornado warnings in the late afternoon hours today, and unofficially a tornado touchdown in Van Buren County.
Channel 7's Justin Lewis is live tonight in Botkenburg. Now that's near Clinton. Justin, what can you tell us?
Hello there. Well, just north of Clinton on Highway 65 is where we are in the Botkenburg community. A severe storm actually left much debris and even collapsed this building. This is a church behind me. Nothing left pretty much but a slab and debris. I've confirmed 6 homes are complete loss tonight, leaving many families without anywhere to go. We caught up with one of those couples this evening. Severe storms and tornadic weather play no favorites. Today, it hit the Botkenburg Foursquare Church along Highway 65 and this home next to it. Rocky Thomas is the youth director at the church, and this is what's left of he and his wife Mandy's home and many of their possessions.
I just pulled in, saw the damage, saw the boat and the trailer and the storage building in the woods, saw our roof gone, and saw tons of people out here helping.
Van Buren County estimates at least 30 structures total were damaged during Wednesday's storm. Also, trees remained a major problem for people trying to get around. One thing there wasn't a shortage of was help.
We're thankful for the outpouring that we've received. Yes. We're just going to get to work, see what has to be done, and I know something good is going to come out of this.
I just spoke with the Van Buren County judge. He told me he knows of 4 people who were transported to the hospital with injuries this evening from damage from this storm. 3 of those, however, have been released this evening. One of those remains in the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, and one of those injuries actually came while somebody was passing through in their vehicle. Live in Van Buren County, Justin Lewis, back to you guys.
All right, you mentioned a lot of people without a home tonight because of this damage. Are they getting help?
They are, Christina. I spoke with the Red Cross, and they've been here. Of course, darkness is causing a little bit of gap here. They will be here in the morning, and that's also when the county judge will be walking around a little bit more doing that reassessment. We'll be here in the morning with live reports coming up on daybreak, so we'll see you in the morning.
All right, Justin Lewis live in Botkenburg tonight. Thank you.
There is also a report tonight that people are trapped inside a Lincoln County home.
A tree there fell on a house near Star City, and there are unknown amount of people trapped inside. I spoke to Tommy Jackson with the Department of Emergency Management earlier tonight, and he joins us now on the phone with an update. Tommy, what can you tell us?
Hey, Christina, good evening. Another crazy night Arkansas weather-wise. Let me give you a recap of where things look like at 10 p.m. According to my records, I show a total of 55 homes that were damaged tonight, 2 businesses, 1 church. And of those 55 homes, the majority of those came in Van Buren County, where it looks like our total is about 33. And, of course, that's subject to change at first light.
An EF2 tornado rips through Van Buren County, tearing off roofs, damaging homes, and injuring at least 5 residents. We thank you for watching tonight. I'm Christina Munoz in for Beth and Scott. The National Weather Service is in the process of determining how many other tornadoes hit the state last night. We have team coverage of the damage and begin with Barry Brandt, who is live in Botkenburg tonight to explain the path that storm took. Barry.
Christina, you're right. It was an EF2 tornado. We had an aerial view of it a little bit earlier, but winds of 125 to 130 miles an hour. This is the Botkenburg Foursquare Church. The destruction, well, one half of the building, total destruction. The other half, not in good shape. And a lot of buildings around here as well sustained some unbelievable damage. It matches up perfectly to where we showed you on the radar last night, the returns from west of Clinton on up and crossing Highway 65 right here at the church and in Botkenburg. We began our coverage, our aerial coverage, over around the Scotland community down to the southwest. And here's what we found along with some commentary as I looked at this damage for the first time.
Several miles west of Botkenburg, and this looks like some of the first damage, some of the first places that the tornado hit an obvious destructive wind field with this tornado. And here's one home down below us. You can see the entire roof ripped off of the structure. All the side walls, though, were intact, but all the roof is ripped off. Looks like several vehicles were tipped over, and a large fifth-wheel trailer apparently also tipped over down here. A lot of debris, and obviously several structures that were hard hit and even destroyed.
Well, coming up at 6, we'll have some more aerial video there. It was very wide in some spots, and our Matt Johnson joins us now. And the folks that I've talked to that either live here, Matt, or are members of the church here, they all seem pretty shaken up.
Yeah, that's right, Barry. And what we're hearing from victims and officials is that they're really just glad nobody was killed. This was a storm that affected 60 houses, injured several people, but they'll take that over the loss of life any day. But what we've seen all day are volunteers from all over the area coming in to clean up truckloads of debris. The most affected areas here have been along Highway 65 and Highway 110 in the Plant community. Now, not only was the Botkenberg Foursquare Church destroyed, but several houses next to it and across from it were hit. We've seen roofs peeled off that allowed heavy rain to seep into carpets and obliterate furniture. The most severe injury came to a 64-year-old woman who needed 14 staples in her head. She is recovering, though. Meanwhile, the pastor of the destroyed church says the community has shown its resolve.
They've come and just to do anything, just to help in some way. And it just, you know, you hear so much of the bad, but yet there is a lot of good from people out there.
And coming up at 6, we'll go inside some of those affected houses and show you how they plan to rebuild.
Yeah, obviously they're not going to be having any church services here, and a lot of folks said, "Hey, this is just a building. You know, we're gonna meet again." Any idea of where they might be meeting, Matt?
Yeah, that's the biggest obstacle right now. That's not really sure where they're going to go, but the pastor says he's been reached out to by a dozen pastors who are more than happy to really lend their building. But right now it's really in limbo. But he knows he has a lot of help in the community.
Boy, there's been a tremendous outpouring from here and down in the Clinton area. Again, at 6 o'clock tonight, we're going to have more of the aerial video of that, and again at times 300 and 400 yards wide at least, some of the damage path there. Plus we're going to show you on the radar what this looked like, and it matches up of course exactly to where it was on the radar last night. Well, it's quite cool in behind this. It's a whole other air mass than we saw yesterday, and our Todd Jacobian has a look at the forecast for tonight. It's going to get kind of chilly, huh, Todd?
Yeah, it sure is, Barry, and I see you're wearing jackets out there and frost advisories in effect for your area. Now, the one thing, by the way, when I saw those aerial pictures, you saw that house and you saw all the walls that were up still. The roof was torn off, but that's why we tell you to put as many walls between you and the outside and get into the center portion of the house, because you're more likely to withstand a tornado like that. So if those people took cover, which likely they did, then you're more likely to escape without injury.
Thank you, Todd, and our thanks to Barry and Matt as well. And while much of the focus on severe weather yesterday was on the north central part of the state, a section of our southeast was about to get slapped by Mother Nature, too. Channel 7's Jason Peterson joins us live from a rural area of Lincoln County where it certainly appears another twister touchdown. Jason?
Well, it certainly does, Christina. Now, the National Weather Service, though, is not yet on board with that assessment. In fact, there was no tornado warnings issued for this area of the state. But the residents here in the Garrett Bridge community say there's no doubt that they all survived, thankfully without any injuries, a tornado. And all the sights and sounds of tornado damage are certainly here. You've got trees knocked over or snapped in half, major property damage, personal belongings scattered, and the hum of chainsaws and backhoes. Power crews are here, the Red Cross is here. All this area lacks is the official word that a tornado is to blame. I visited with Harry Williams, and he says he doesn't need any official to define what he experienced.
Stayed at my daughter's house last night down here, and then we come down here about 7. And where you could really see, you couldn't see last night with just flashlights, you know.
So what were your thoughts as you looked around?
Yeah. 40-something years gone. 40-something years.
Now, the National Weather Service plans to visit this area on Saturday to try and determine if this is damage from a tornado or from straight line winds. Now, one of the things they're going to be looking for is what direction did the trees fall. You can see this tree right behind me, the root system's here. It fell that way, but a tree right across Memory Lane here fell in the exact opposite direction. You can tell by the root system. So that is one of the things that the National Weather Service will be here in Lincoln County looking for. We will at 6 visit with more of the residents affected by whatever hit this area of the state at about 8:30 on Wednesday night. Christina?
Whatever it was, it caused a lot of destruction there. Jason, thank you. We'll see you at 6. Severe weather and at least one confirmed tornado tear through the state yesterday. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Christina Munoz. Scott has the night off. We have team coverage tonight of what's left behind after those storms, both north of central Arkansas and south. We begin in Van Buren County, where a majority of the damage and injuries happened, and that EF2 tornado. Barry, tell us about what you saw today.
Well, it was pretty devastating. We started into the south central part of the county near Scotland and moved up toward that area west and then north of Clinton. And even though last night we were showing you exactly where those radar returns were, it still is shocking to see the actual path. A lot of folks said that they were watching last night, had advance warning of this storm as it moved through Van Buren County, and that's always good. No fatalities here. But it was really a very apparent rotation within the radar last night. Let's take a look at 4 images that we can show you, starting down around Scotland, the small community down to the southwest of here. And those images were showing up on the radar as the wind coming away from and going toward the radar site. Now there you can see the damage that we saw today. A number of buildings were impacted by this storm. Some of them completely destroyed. That's the Foursquare Church right here along Highway 65. About half the building gone, the other half severely damaged, and a whole lot of more damage right here along Highway 65. We can see that the damage was pretty bad in most instances, and at times the path of this was 400 yards wide as estimated, and that's what the National Weather Service has said, with this wind speeds up to 130 miles an hour and at times around 400 yards wide, just down to the Little Red River Valley and then right up here into Botkenberg where those last pictures are being shown. So we had some pretty impressive radar returns last night, and they were confirmed last night, and we even had pictures last night from the Scotland area of the actual funnel. Now, the one thing that happened, our Matt Johnson joins us now, the one thing that happened coming up from the south-southwest, this didn't stop here in Botkenberg. It continued right down across this valley too, Matt.
Yeah, that's right, Barry. And right over these mountains is a small community called Plant. It's kind of the place where everybody knows everyone, and that's a good thing after a tornado.
Right here is where my storage building was, and it just strode it from here to there.
Bob Bagley barely recognizes the home his mother built 12 years ago.
It's family, you know, so it's kind of hard, yeah, to see it go.
Bagley's is one of 60 homes hit in Van Buren County after Wednesday night's tornado.
Everything was just like deathly still, and the sky was just green. So it was scary.
He'll have to pack what was spared and stay with relatives, even if the tornado didn't spare what he really wanted.
They took the shed but left the mower. It's the only mower that don't run.
Just 2 houses down Highway 110, another house was in the path of the 30-mile-long storm.
This ain't the first time, it's the second time it comes through here.
The scattered debris was a grim flashback to the deadly 2008 tornado in nearby Clinton. This time, thankfully, no lives were lost, although plenty roofs were.
We got a lot of roof message on this side and a little bit on the other side. All this side here is gone.
What isn't gone is the help. Dozens of volunteers have been cleaning up debris and offering shelter to victims. Victims like Bagley, who will need more than 24 hours to really realize what hit him.
It's different when it hits somewhere else, but when it hits home, yeah, it makes you think a little different.
Now, the most serious injury happened just across the street from here. A home was completely destroyed, and a 64-year-old woman needed 14 staples in her head, but her sons tell me that she is recovering well. Christina, back to you.
Boy, when you see the destruction, it really is amazing there were no more injuries or even deaths in that storm. Matt Johnson and Barry Brandt live tonight. Thank you so much. Well, although there were no tornado warnings issued for southeast Arkansas, Channel 7's Jason Peterson spent the day surveying a 5-mile swath of damage that sure looks like it was caused by a tornado. Jason joins us now from Lincoln County so you can see it for yourself. Jason.
Well, Christina, a lot of damage, little or no warning, and thankfully no injuries. That's the assessment of things here in the Garrett Bridge community of Lincoln County. Now, whether or not the National Weather Service decides that a tornado visited the people here remains to be seen. Randy Johnson has carried insurance on his home since 1985. Then 6 months ago, his insurance company refused to pay for some floor damage, so he canceled it. The consequence of that decision hit last night around 8:30.
We're fixing to have a storm, and I was playing with the dogs, you know, not really expecting no tornado. And the next thing I know, it hit, and it done its damage, and it was just gone just about as fast as it. He has 4 trees on his house, but Johnson says he'll be all right, and so will his neighbors. The 300 or so people who make up the Garrett Bridge community all know each other. They're all helping each other today, just as they have in the past and will in the future. But with no warning and all the attention paid to Van Buren County, forgive the folks here in Lincoln County if they're feeling a little overlooked. But they're also feeling blessed. We're all lucky nobody got hurt, because this is a heck of a daggum storm. It's like a bomb hit. You know, it's just like a bomb hit, you know.
Now, the National Weather Service plans to visit Lincoln County and take a look at all the damage here and try to determine if, without warning, a tornado is to blame. Christina.
Pretty amazing images there. Jason Peterson live tonight. Thank you.